Hey, it's Corpsy. We're on the set of, actually not really Girls and Corpses, but the person we're interviewing is Mosh, who has been on the cover of Girls and Corpses magazine, who's doing a photo shoot at our house. If that doesn't make any sense, we're going to explain. This is the lovely and talented and famous pinup model, Mosh.
Hi.
There she is. What is the photo shoot for?
It's for myself and one of my favorite photographers, Tatiana Drusova. And
I'm going to say that twice. Drusova?
Drusova.
Nice.
She's a wonderful, wonderful photographer. I love working with her, and so we just shot for ourselves, basically.
Tell us about your clothing line. Is this part of your clothing line here?
It is. It is my lingerie line in collaboration with a company called Dottie's Delights. They make beautiful lingerie out of Chicago, and we both have similar aesthetics. We like vintage inspired, and we like great quality lingerie, so we decided to come together and produced a line called Sheer Show.
How would you describe this? This is like 1930s, 40s, what?
Yeah, we use a lot of vintage influence, so 1940s, 1950s lingerie, a few 1930s pieces as well we influenced.
You have an input into obviously what this is. I mean, do you design it or?
We both worked on it. Some of her pieces are very much hers, and some of them are very much mine, and we kind of merged together, and it really, her construction is what really made it key. Like, you know, I may draw something, but it doesn't really come to life and isn't beautiful until somebody who's just, you know, is really good at putting things together and designing and developing lingerie. So. And you can purchase it at dottiesdelights.com, and a few select boutiques will be carrying it as well.
Why is pinup so popular versus, to put it bluntly, porn? Why is pinup coming back against this nude avalanche?
Well, I mean, like you said, today it makes it a little more mysterious. You know, just an implied nudity or something, like where it's, you know, your imagination can really do the rest of the work if you're really being.
It's a tease. It's sexier.
It is. It is,
like,
and there's a lot of places your mind can go without the woman actually having to be 100% nude. And I think there's in pinup, I think there's a lot more thought that goes into just than just an art nude shot. And not all art nudes are, you know, thoughtless. There's a lot of beautiful art nudity. Beautiful. But you know, pinup shots, just about every shot I've ever seen of a pinup has, you know, either the girl is really energetic and it really translates, or, you know, the setup is really beautiful, like on, you know, just, you know, find beautiful locations to shoot at, or the costuming is just right. You know, there's just a lot of thought that goes into it. Yeah, and you might not even realize how much work goes into it, but it just translates into the photograph as a whole. So when you see it, you think, wow, this is beautiful. And then, you know, if you're really interested, you can start picking it apart. Say, well, you know, the costume's really good. The makeup was done well. This was done well. The lighting's right. The cropping is right. You know, there's a lot that goes into a beautiful photograph. And pinup, you put that much effort into it, and then combine it with a little bit of, you know, it's a little bit of tease, and that makes a really magnificent shot.
Well, and there's a lot of acting that goes into your modeling. This isn't just a girl standing there in a bikini. It's amazing to watch you work, because you lock in some sensuality in your eyes. It's just a little, your eyes just move and you do something, and it's extraordinary. It's a different level of modeling than I think some girls do.
You do this long enough, you become sassy, so it's a lot easier to bring that sass to the phone.
Now, is there a Miss Mosh calendar? Was there ever?
Actually, yes. I did my first one in 2013, and then did another one in 2014, and did one, actually, I mentioned the shooting in Hawaii. We developed a calendar out of that. And
when's that coming out?
It's out now.
Okay, where do we get that? In the Miss Mosh store?
Shopmosh.com.
Now, you've built yourself up to be the preeminent, I don't want to embarrass you, but you're like the #1 pinup model in the world shooting right now, in my opinion. Or do you feel that there's, who are your competitors?
Competitors. I think we're all, you know, we all have our own little squirrel. We have our own little, look at him, he's really cute.
He's a very cute squirrel.
He's really fat too.
We have fat squirrels. We feed our squirrels in our yard.
Everybody has their own little things that make them really special. And for example, I love Bernie Dexter. She's just fantastic at the whole cheesecake, but not making it cheesy. She does it really, really well.
Do you ever feel like you were born in the wrong era?
No, I think I was born in the right era to remind people of the elegance from you know, a time that is no longer with us, and I think there's a lot of things that are lost these days, like, you know, good craftsmanship and beautiful lingerie. What I love doing is taking classic elements and putting them in modern settings so that people can see how it relates to modern day and how it can still translate and how it can still look fantastic and not dated, not like a costume. I don't want people to get the idea of like my lingerie or any of my photos as it's trying to live in a different era. It's not. It's taken things that I think are so incredible and so beautiful and trying to remind people those did exist. Let's keep them alive and let's enjoy them as well.
You do burlesque. What does your style of burlesque and where have you done it?
I travel around with it, so all over the States, and I performed it in Canada. I have not gone to Europe with it yet. I'd like to, but the style is, you know, I take a lot of influence from the golden era of, you know, burlesque, and that was, you know, the 30s, so I do take influence of that, and definitely the music usually I use from those eras as well, either re-recorded or, you know.
Do you have someone from that era that, if you could, I know you want to be mosh, but if there was someone in that era that you just go, oh my God, that burlesque is so perfect?
You know, Lily St. Cyr was a magnificent performer. She literally walked on stage, undressed, and took a bath. But she made it so beautiful and so erotic looking. And she wasn't even doing anything too titillating or anything too, you know, raunchy, or not even raunchy at all. It was very seductive. It was very seductive, but she wasn't even really engaging the audience, but somehow made it like it made it a story. Made it like, can you imagine like being her husband and like watching that like every day? It's amazing. So
yes, I'm sure she did that every day for her husband. Do you do the tub show? Is that something you've thought of?
You know, I've kicked around ideas. You know, the classic elements of burlesque, definitely a tub show. That
bubble bath. Man.
Bubble bath, yeah. I do love those. So, you know, and there's performers that already do a wonderful bubble bath show currently. I mean, Dita's one. She does a magnificent, you know, bathtub act. I think it's really pretty. And there's a number of other performers as well who do it very well. So you know, if I were to do it, I'd have to really
think about it.
Really think about it. Really try to make it my own. If I could.
Would you do it as a nude or pasties?
I always perform pasties and G-string. It's you know, it's traditional in the burlesque community, in the history of burlesque, and it was to bypass laws. You know, a lot of nudity laws and.
Well, and you don't, you know, for me. I mean, it's why we don't have nudity in Girls and Corpses, because I always figure if you can't see enough nudity, you don't know how to turn on your computer, because, you know, something different now is the beauty of dancing and showing the female form and being sexy without nudity, because that's the easy thing. In the old days, it was like, oh my God, there's nudity. Now that's the norm, and what isn't the norm are things like pasties and dancing and things like this. So
I suppose, yeah. Burlesque is, it's a very beautiful community. It's very creative, and you think of ways to, you know, some girls are very comedic with their acts, and you know, I saw one girl and she performed with like a rubber chicken and like she put like, you know, one of those yellow utility, you know, gloves on her head and on her boob. It was really funny. I loved it.
Thank you for watching Girls and Corpses EMM Report. Tatiana the photographer, and Miss Mosh, MissMosh.com, and
TheMoshroom.com.
TheMoshroom.com.